Australia has a well-earned global reputation as a continent dominated by massive, deadly apex predators. If you walk near a river, you are watching the water surface for a 2-ton reptile. That reputation extends right off the coastlines and into the Great Barrier Reef. The instinct is always to scan the open horizon for giant, highly visible monsters. But looking for threats on the horizon completely misses the densest, most competitive biological battleground on the continent. The real war zone is happening right beneath our hiking boots. To uncover this hidden arena, we are going to flip 100 objects across the Australian landscape. We're plunging past the canopy, straight into the dark dirt to see exactly what is hiding down there. A simple fallen branch or an abandoned coconut is a highly engineered fortress. The creatures living in this darkness are forced to evolve extreme survival mechanics simply to see tomorrow. The dense, crowded environment of the tropical Australian rainforest requires immense physical adaptations just to hide in plain sight. Take the spiny leaf insect. Its morphology, its specific structural design, allows it to perfectly mimic the jagged edges of dead foliage, letting it vanish entirely from hungry predators. Or consider the phantom cranefly. When threatened by a predator, it violently vibrates its incredibly thin, delicate legs. This mechanical defense blurs its physical body, making it look like a hovering alien spaceship rather than a vulnerable meal. But the trapjaw ant moves past basic defense and into pure predatory speed. It is a marvel of kinetic engineering. This diagram details their wide mandibles. Notice the microscopic trigger hairs lining the inner jaw. When prey brushes those hairs, it triggers a massive release of stored mechanical energy. The jaws snap shut in a fraction of a second, trapping them. In this micro-world, physical speed and structural illusion draw the absolute line between who gets to eat and who gets eaten. Some creatures bypass physical traps completely. They manufacture their own internal chemical artillery. There is a specific species of millipede here that relies entirely on a highly specialized acid-spitting defense mechanism whenever a larger animal disturbs its log. The chemical compound it sprays is potent enough to visibly stain the objects that touch it, a harsh biological warning for predators to back off. In this comparison, a standard ant uses front mandibles or a rear stinger. The Australian weaver ant is built entirely differently. It fires a specialized acid sprayer from its green abdomen. Aiming its rear upwards, it neutralizes incoming aerial attacks. Chemical warfare gives these tiny, otherwise defenseless organisms a vital ranged advantage. It allows them to hold their ground against massive intruders thousands of times their size. Moving out into the harsh Australian red desert, the extreme heat forces the most ruthless and specialized predators entirely underground. Take the land planarian. This is a deeply unsettling apex invertebrate that uses biological restraints, specifically a thick, sticky mucus, to completely immobilize unsuspecting snails and worms. Once the unsuspecting prey is completely trapped, the land planarian deploys a specialized fleshy tube straight out of its own body. It injects biological enzymes, proteins that rapidly break down tissue, to liquefy the prey's insides, slurping it up like a smoothie. But the ultimate underworld predator is the fully grown giant centipede. This animal is so fast and packs such a punch that it regularly hunts vertebrate lizards for lunch. Despite delivering one of the most agonizing bites in the animal kingdom, it doesn't actually use a mouth full of teeth. Looking closely at this diagram of the centipede's head, you can see its true weapon. Its first pair of legs has been completely modified into sharp, venom-injecting hypodermic pincers. At the very top of the microfood web, evolutionary weapons bypass external armor entirely. The winning strategy is direct venom injection and internal liquefaction. When we pull back to view the massive scale of the Australian continent and its diverse coastal boundaries, it is incredibly easy to focus on the big predators. Yet every single rock, fallen leaf, and abandoned termite mound across this vast expanse houses its own ruthless, perfectly engineered microsociety. The concept of physical scale is an illusion. These tiny invertebrates are shaped by the exact same brutal evolutionary pressures as the megafauna roaming above them. The most mind-blowing biological science rarely announces itself on the horizon. It is usually waiting right beneath our boots, hiding in millions of invisible alien worlds.